What's your psycho ex story? He stole my prescription medication and refused to give it back until I got back together with him. I told my older brother, who convinced him to stop. He harassed me at work for over an hour. He knew there were no other employees in the store. He called my cell endlessly until I blocked him. Then he started calling my job's phone. Threatened to come in and cause a scene to get me fired once a manager arrived if I didn't speak to him. I had no way of blocking him, and if I didn't answer the phone the computer would log a missed call. So after the 30th call or so I just kept picking it up and hanging it up straight away rather than talking to him. Was too scared to call the cops. I told my older brother and he convinced the ex to stop. He threatened to take his life if I didn't get back together with him. I asked if he was serious. He said yes. So I finally worked up the courage to call the police on him. They took him to the hospital. He was there for 3 hours. They decided it was a panic attack, released him, and the harassment continued as soon as he was out. He did all that in one day. He endlessly harassed my friends, lied to them, would message them in the middle of the night, send them hundreds of messages a day. He threatened me, if I ever see you with anyone else you won't be so pretty anymore, and the guy is gonna regret talking to you. He talked crap about me to anyone that would listen, lie about why we broke up, called me names, anything he could think of, did the same on social media. I told my grandma and she had him delete the posts. He called me once he found out I made a Tinder, by seeing me on his own Tinder, used his friend's phone to call me and was literally screaming at me. He ended up punching a hole in his wall. One night he announced he was coming over to my place. He knew my dad's work schedule and knew I would be home alone. Luckily I was staying over a friend's house that night. I had to call him and tell him to leave me alone. A few days later, he again, knowing my dad's work schedule, knew I would be home alone, and I was. Unfortunately, he announced he was on his way over, that we were going to talk it out and do what it takes to get back together. With all his previous behavior, this terrified me. I started having a severe panic attack, worst one I've ever had. I told him to leave me alone. I didn't want to talk to him. We weren't getting back together. He said he didn't care, was coming over anyway. Even when I was crying hysterically, barely able to breathe from my panic attack, he insisted that since he is my favorite food, I'll be fine. I got in my car and bolted. Sat in a grocery store parking lot cause I was so scared he'd find me if I went to a friend's or a relative's. I called my mom. Once I calmed down enough, I went to a police station and got a temporary restraining order. In court, the judge decided I didn't qualify for a permanent restraining order, because, even though he admitted to all his behavior, and it qualified legally as domestic violence on multiple levels, the lack of physical violence means I don't qualify for a permanent restraining order. So essentially he needs to hurt me before I can prevent him from hurting me. 3 days after court he messaged me again. He's made fake Facebook accounts, messaged me on absolutely every platform he could think of.